All the really good stuff stinks. That's exactly what I used to think every time I started composting. I mean, I honestly believed a fertilizer without a smell just didn't exist. After all, it's fertilizer. But everything changed when I realized that no matter how good the nutrients are, if that scent starts creeping into your living room, clinging to your clothes, or worst of all, wafting into your neighbor's house, then you've got a major problem. So I spent a lot of time researching ways to make organic fertilizer that's great for plants, but also easy on the nose, at least for mine. The result? I've gathered 7 odorless organic fertilizer methods, and I'm sharing them all with you in this video. Make sure to watch until the end to turn your garden into a place that's not just lush and green, but also smells fresh and clean. To create odorless fertilizer, you first need to understand why it stinks in the first place. That way, you'll know exactly what to avoid. In reality, a foul smell isn't a natural trait of organic fertilizer. It's a sign that something is going wrong. Specifically, it usually comes down to these 3 culprits. 1. Lack of oxygen. This is the most common mistake. When you toss kitchen scraps into a bucket and seal the lid tight, or pack the waste down too hard, air can't get in. This is when anaerobic bacteria take over. Instead of that fresh, earthy scent, they produce H2S, that classic rotten egg smell, and methane gas. Simply providing some breathing room for oxygen can cut the odor by 80%. 2. Excess animal protein. Things like fish, meat, or dairy have very complex protein structures. As they break down, they release ammonia and sulfur compounds. So, if you want an odor-free experience, it's best to keep your fertilizer vegan. 3. Excessive moisture. An ideal compost pile should have the moisture level of a wrung-out sponge. If it's too wet, it turns into a soggy mess. Water displaces the air, leading to the same anaerobic conditions I mentioned earlier. So, what's the secret formula for a fresh-smelling garden? It's plenty of air, plus clean plant-based materials, plus just enough moisture. And right now, I'm going to show you how to apply this formula using the following 5 methods. The first method, and honestly the cleanest one I've ever come across, is leaf mold. If you're someone who appreciates the finer details or simply refuses to tolerate even a hint of a bad smell, this is your #1 choice. The key difference here is that while regular kitchen composting relies on bacteria, leaf mold is primarily a fungal decomposition process. Because of this, it doesn't generate heat and, most importantly, produces absolutely no foul odors. The process is incredibly simple. Anyone can start right now. Step 1. Gather all the dry leaves in your garden. A pro tip: prioritize thin leaves that crumble easily as they break down much faster. Step 2. Place all the leaves into a burlap sack with air holes or a wire mesh bin tucked away in a corner of your garden. Step 3. Don't forget to add a little water. We want the leaves to be just damp like a wrung-out sponge, not soaking wet. Step 4. And finally, just forget about it. This might actually be the hardest part because it requires patience. You just leave it there for 6 months to a year. No turning, no mixing, and no extra care needed. The final product you'll receive after the wait is a dark, crumbly humus with the fresh, clean scent of a forest floor after the rain. It's not just nutrient-rich, it's black gold for improving your soil structure. One strict rule: never add food scraps, kitchen waste, or animal manure. If you accidentally toss those in, pests and that nasty anaerobic smell will show up in a heartbeat. Method 2. Controlled low-odor liquid. Pressing kitchen scraps. If you find the leaf mold method takes too long and want to process your daily kitchen waste right away, this is the technique for you. Now, to be honest, this method isn't 100% odorless, but it is low odor. Whenever you have fresh plant waste, there will always be some slight fermentation. But the secret here is control. We ensure the scent stays at a level similar to pickles or sourdough, rather than a stinky sewer. Here is how you do it. Step 1. You need 2 plastic buckets nested inside each other. Drill multiple holes in the bottom of the top bucket, while keeping the bottom one intact to collect the liquid. Step 2. Toss in all your raw, uncooked plant scraps. Anything from potato and carrot peels to banana skins, bean pods, or coffee grounds. As long as it's plant-based, it works. Step 3. Use a heavy object, like a clean brick, to press down firmly on the surface of the scraps. This helps squeeze out the moisture faster, keeping the solids dry and preventing anaerobic rot. Step 4. Put the lid on and start the process. Don't seal it airtight. Leave a tiny gap for air circulation because, as we discussed earlier, a lack of oxygen is exactly what causes that foul smell. After about 7 to 15 days, the liquid extract collected in the bottom bucket is liquid gold for your plants. When using it, make sure to dilute it with a ratio of at least 1 to 10, 1 part fertilizer to 10 parts clean water, and apply it only to the roots. Once the liquid has drained down, use it immediately or within a few days. Don't let it oversleep in the bucket for too long, or it will start to turn smelly and become counterproductive. Message 3. Tea leaves and nutshell. If you have a habit of sipping a cup of tea every morning or love snacking on nuts, this method is for you. Use tea leaves and processed shells, either dried or roasted, have a sturdy structure and are rich in tannins, a substance that's excellent at inhibiting odor-causing bacteria. This makes them a very clean and safe nutrient source for indoor fertilizing. Here's how to do it with tea leaves. After your brew, gather the leaves. If you use tea bags, remember to tear them open and discard the bag. A quick tip: spread the leaves thinly on a small plate and leave them in a cool, airy spot to dry out a bit before mixing them into the soil. This prevents any mold from forming. As for nutshells, for things like peanut, almond, or sunflower shells, you'll want to crush them up. These fragments don't just provide a small boost of minerals, they also act as a soil conditioner, keeping your soil fluffy and well aerated, just like expensive perlite. To use them, simply mix the dried tea leaves or crushed shells directly into the top layer of your potting soil. When you water the plant, the nutrients will slowly seep down to the root. One little tip: since tea leaves are slightly acidic, they are perfect for acid-loving plants like roses, orchids, or hydrangeas. Method 4. Quick 24-hour herbal steep. True to its name, we start the process and use it after exactly 24 hours. Essentially, we are just extracting the nutrients from the plants without waiting for them to decompose. When you soak plants in water for less than 24 hours, odor-causing bacteria don't have enough time to develop, so the extract remains completely odorless. How to do it? Use banana peels, old tea leaves, or even leftover vegetable cooking water, but make sure it's completely free of salt, spices, or oil. Place your ingredients in a jar of clean water with a ratio of 1 part plant material to 2 parts water. Let it sit for about 12 to 24 hours. After that, you must strain out the plant solids and keep only the clear liquid. Once you have your extract, dilute it with clean water at a 1:5 ratio and water your plants directly at the roots. Remember, if you soak it for longer than 24 hours, the water will start to ferment, turn cloudy, and smell, at which point you'll just have to toss it out and start over. Method 5. Using Epsom salt. Epsom salt is rich in magnesium, a core element that helps plants produce chlorophyll. If your plants are suffering from yellowing leaves, stunted growth, or poor flowering, this is like a quick vitamin shot to bring back that lush green look and stimulate a better harvest. Especially for peppers, tomatoes, and roses, all you need to do is grab a bag of Epsom salt. Mix 1 tablespoon of the salt with about 4 liters of clean water. Stir well until it's completely dissolved, and you'll have a crystal clear, odorless fertilizer solution. You can pour it directly onto the soil once a month, or use a spray bottle to apply it directly to the leaves, foliar feeding, for faster absorption. One thing to keep in mind: since this is a micronutrient fertilizer, it cannot fully replace your regular macronutrient organic fertilizers. However, it's still a fantastic way to keep your plants healthy without causing even the slightest discomfort to your nose or your neighbors. It's a solution that's affordable, clean, and incredibly effective. After going through 5 plant-based methods, I want to introduce you to a real superstar in the world of odorless fertilizers: worm castings, also known as vermicompost. This fertilizer has almost no smell at all. At most, it just has a very faint, pleasant scent of a damp forest. It's so clean that you can even use it for indoor plants in your living room or right on your office desk without any discomfort. These days, you can easily find pre-packaged bags of worm castings at any garden center to use immediately. However, if you want a free and continuous supply of fertilizer right at home, you can actually raise your own worms using leftover fruit and vegetable scraps from your kitchen. It's a great way to recycle. If you're interested in learning how to start your own worm bin, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a dedicated video diving deeper into that topic. Alongside worm castings, there are two other odorless organic options you can buy and use immediately: organic pellets and mushroom compost. Organic pellets are usually chicken or cow manure that has been heat-treated and pressed into dry granules. This industrial process doesn't just kill off pathogens, it also eliminates most of the strong original odors, making the fertilizing process incredibly convenient and mess-free. As for mushroom compost, this is actually the nutrient-rich substrate harvested after mushroom production, which has undergone a thorough composting process. It's extremely light and airy, making it a fantastic soil conditioner. Best of all, it carries only a very faint, gentle scent of damp wood mulch. In case you're still worried about the scent of any store-bought fertilizer, try the top dressing method. Simply spread the fertilizer around the base of the plant and cover it with a thin layer of soil or some dry leaves. The soil acts as the best natural odor filter you could ask for. I hope that with the methods I've shared, from DIY tips to ready-to-use options, your garden will always stay lush, green, and fresh-smelling. If you have any other tips for making odorless fertilizer, or if you have any questions about the methods we discussed, please leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really gives me the motivation to create even more exciting content about organic gardening for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.